Whenever somebody thinks about Italy, they think about the industrial behemoth and colonial superpower that it was in the 18th century. I'm sorry, couldn't say that with a straight face. You're thinking pizza, pasta, buffalo, aren't you, you little schnitzel? Well, you're wrong, okay? We were the industrial powerhouse of the world. That's right, after 2 months of not playing Victoria 3, it's time that I get back into it with the proper Italian campaign, since we haven't played them in a while. Make sure first off we change our production methods, because we do start with some really wonky ones. We also want to change to the iron frame production method for the construction sectors, get a secondary construction sector, and then let's see what our market is missing right now. Of course, you guessed it, it's everything. So we're going to be queuing up a coal mine in Piedmont, a sulfur mine in Sardinia, and make sure we change the production methods for these particular new buildings. Then we can do a cotton plantation as well as another logging camp with about 5 iron mines, because iron's going to be super high demand. The more we get early on, the faster we industrialize. Technology wise, we're doing super good. We will set up nationalism as the first research and then queue up water tube boilers, mechanized workshops and railways, crank taxation to absolute maximum, add extra services tax, transportation, and even sugar. If you're gonna be a sweet boy in my country, you need to pay the sweet boy tax. Remember I said we're gonna be a colonial empire? That's right, that starts in Arabia. And heck, even South America, why not? Everybody knows Argentina is mostly Italians, right? And I'm not even making that shit up. With greener grass campaign in Piedmont as well as Sardinia, and road maintenance again in both of these particular states. This is where we're going to be building most of our buildings early on. I'm going to cancel road maintenance after we finish the sulfur mine in Sardinia though. First nation we'll be attacking is going to be Lucca, since they're basically free for the taking. Austria is not going to help out. And we're also going to be lowering relations with the Papal States and increasing relations with the great powers to the west as well as with Prussia. Alright, time for the naval invasion into Lucca. We technically don't even need to do a naval invasion here since we can get military access through Modena. There we go. First conquest in Italy done. Guess we can also lower our taxation since I underestimated the amount of money we'll be getting from very high taxation. Next war we'll be doing is against Austria, and we're doing it indirectly by attacking Parma first, and then the Austrians join on the side of Parma because they got the guarantee independence. So we're going to be grabbing Lombardia and Venice from Austria in the Parma War. This is done because if we were to attack the Austrians directly, they have their alliance set, so we would have to fight Prussia, Russia, maybe even the Ottomans alongside the Austrians, and that would not be very smart. We also managed to get about 50 more conscripts by using the encourage enlistment efforts decree in our main states. And of course, initially we'll be setting our units to defend front until the Austrians grind down their soldiers on the French ranks. Okay, we're actually really advancing hard into the Austrian ranks. 60 advance is really crazy already. We got Emilia, so that means we're going to be able to enforce on the Emilian part. And we got Lombardia. Let's go, baby! Yeah, I guess I might as well help my French broskies by advancing myself. 70 advantage. Yeah, we basically won the war, didn't we already? It did cost us the part of Provence that we had, so we technically lost a little bit of lands. But sometimes sacrifices need to be made in order to unify the Italian peninsula. Come on, guys. Come on. Just a little bit more push. Please, please. I want Venice. Yes! We got Venice, baby. Let's go. 1838, and we already unified North Italy, guys. This is crazy. Actually, I just realized we probably should have, we probably need to take South Tyrol too. That's also proper Italian land, isn't it? But hey, look at that. Venice and Lombardy in the first year of the campaign with half of Emilia. I'd say we're doing pretty decent. What do you guys think? Let's get a couple more declared interests now that we actually are a major power, and stop paying for our soldiers extra, as well as we need to actually integrate the newly conquered areas. So that's right, we haven't done that yet, and that is very important to do. It also means we need more admin centers, and we need to properly update all of our production methods now. It goes switching to filing cabinets pretty much fixed most of my issues. For a while, whilst we still have the devastation and these lands are not incorporated, we're not going to be able to do too much with Lombardia and Venice, but afterwards, these two states are crazy. I mean, not only is this a lot of population, like 5 million extra population, but we got coal mines, sulfur mines in Venice, we got lead and iron mines in Lombardia. So we literally have all the vital resources that most nations struggle with from the first year of the campaign already. Now, in order to form Italy, grabbing South Tyrol and Trieste would help a lot, but unfortunately, as you probably realized, we didn't have any more maneuvers, so that was basically all that we could do. We also can do emergency relief in the conquered areas just to prevent people from starving. This gives us a little little bit more food security should help out with keeping more of our population. 8 million pops, by the way, guys. Oh, I'm so in love with this. The expansionism doesn't stop here. Next up, we'll be attacking the Papal States so we can turn them into a puppet. Alrighty, boys, we've officially won the war with the capitulation of Rome City. We went for the Protectorate instead of just flat out conquering lands because it's a lot of this infamy, and we already are up to 60 infamy, which is not ideal. So I got a few extra rivals because we want to have 100% excess of influence. That way we lower our infamy a little bit faster. We will be downsizing our construction a tiny bit in the state of Lombardy, since we are taking a little bit of loans now. We don't want to see that happen. We want to start going back to medium taxation, actually, for that matter. I'm also going to queue up 3 tooling workshops in Sardinia Piedmont so I can start getting my companies established. We got first off the logging conglomerate, but I'm not too happy with this one. We might even change it. It's just a temporary company to get a little bit of extra maximum infrastructure until we get railways, and we just got railways, so that company's irrelevant. I mean, sure, we also get the bonuses to the logging camps, right, guys? Totally not a useless company. Whispers of Risorgimento. Italy must be restored from oblivion. I would like to get the extra 15% influence boost. That is actually going to come massively in handy. Okay, we can also propose a white peace to the Bavarians. We're going to need a little bit more of basic industry, so we're going to get 5 steel mills. We got a motor industry. We're going to get a munitions plant too, and we're going to need some more iron mines. You guessed it. It's an iron mine world. Since we got the munitions plants, we also want to get the general staff researched, so we're going to do that right after we finish the water tube boilers, so we get the skirmisher infantry, which means we should have the upper hand against the Austrians in the next war against them. Our economy is doing pretty good. We're on medium taxation, and we're slowly building back up our construction sectors. Plus, we can get the Piemontese Metals secondary company, and we're going to give these guys investment rights, trade rights, access to the steel mills too. All right, let's also attempt to pass homesteading. We got a semi-decent chance at this, so fingers crossed. Passing homesteading failed. We're going to attempt now to go for racial segregation. Maybe we get a win on that side. The Piemontese Revolution. Well, that's just great, guys. We can either pass universal suffrage or census suffrage. I think census suffrage would probably be a little bit better for us right now. We don't want to have universal suffrage so early on in the campaign. Okay, we also now starting to get the king and parliament progress. And I've got a little bit less infamy, so I think it's time to expand into the Middle East. Oh, for Christ's sake, the revolution's been vanquished. Oh, come on. Autocracy censorship is back in business, guys. Oof, we had it good for a couple of seconds there. The radicals are losing momentum as well. They're growing below 100, so I'm kind of thinking we might actually not be getting that revolution after all. Yep, we're definitely not getting that revolution anymore. We're also not getting racial segregation. Setbacks 2 already on the last phase. Bro, if we fail that legislation, yeah, we're definitely failing that one. I hate this game. I hate this game sometimes. Let's attempt cultural exclusion. Why not? If we fail that one, surely we're going to pass this one, right? We also just got our skirmisher infantry, so we're going to be using these bad boys to take back what's rightfully ours. I failed literally 5 legislations in a row. I'm not even exaggerating. 5 of them in a row. I don't know what's happening right now. I'm failing continuously, man. Legislations are not on the table for Italy, that's for sure. All right, let's also decrease the autonomy of the Papal State. Modena supports unification. Let's go. We're going to be getting some treaties with the rest of the Italian nations just so we improve relations with them. Right now, if we get enough relations with all 3 of the remaining Italian nations, we actually could form Italy. I kind of forgot to improve relations earlier with them, so that's really on me. I completely forgot about it. We're also now able to start a leadership play to form Italy. We just have to go to our journals, and as you can see, we can start one against the Tuscans, another one against the Sicilians, as long as we don't guarantee their independence. That is because we are all the same rank. We're all minor powers. If I was to improve my rank by paying for government wages and military wages, then they would not be able to start those plays against me, and I would not be able to start them against them because I am a rank above them. That's why this disappeared here. However, I can just start a leadership play by myself because I'm the only major power in Italy, and likely my biggest rival will, well, let's face it, the Austrians will be on the opposite side because they also own Italian lands in Istria as well as South Tyrol. I would like some allies before that, that. And I think I saw that the Bulgarians are willing to ally me. Why the hell not? I think the Brazilians also were willing to ally me. Even a defensive pact is better than nothing. We can turn these defensive pacts into proper alliances later on. And the most important one would be to get the two Sicilies or the Prussians on my side. I'm gonna need to rival a few extra nations just so I can get some more influence. And I'm gonna rival nations that I'm very confident will not join in against us. Or even if they do join against us, it's not gonna make much of a difference, right? We just need the influence points to do a couple of extra treaties and possibly get some more alliances. Hey, actually, we're close to getting a defensive alliance with the Sicilians, 30%. I am going to be offering them everything I can, because defensive alliance with Sicily means they're going to be very close. Oh, there you go. That literally, that settles it, guys. That actually settles it. We can now form Italy. We just got to click a single button. The problem is that it's not going to include Tuscany, because Tuscany is being a little schnitzel and they hate us. So I'm going to have to get Tuscany the good old-fashioned way, the military way. Boom, Clickius Maximus. Viva Italia! Si, ma che cazzo, si! Let's change the production methods, let's fix the country, and then afterwards, I think we have a decent enough army size now to start a couple of wars. We got the claims also, so we can use the claims to return state against the Austrians, and we can do the same with the Tuscans. Only 8 infamy is pretty much nothing, so we can attack Tuscany. Austria's going to join in, and we can grab the states from the Austrians too. That is actually ideal. As you would imagine, we still have a big problem with universities, because we just do not have enough universities, which is very ironic considering we're playing as, you know, the birthplace of Renaissance, Italy. All of the added extra resources and provinces that we got means that we can trade a lot more things now too, so we can make a significantly higher amount of money off of trade, which means we need more trade centers, as you would imagine. And the Risorgimento's been complete. I don't know about that, buddy. It doesn't seem like Tuscany's a part of us yet. So let's see what our biggest banes are right now. Wood, surprisingly, we've got some pretty big shortages of furniture and clothes alongside paper and coal and iron. So and fertilizer. So I'm gonna start focusing on that in particular. We don't actually have any fertilizer plants, so I'm gonna build some in Sardinia, because we do have already in Sardinia a little bit of sulfur, if I'm not wrong, right? We should have some sulfur here. We got 1 sulfur mine. How about actually Sicily might have more sulfur? We got 5 sulfur mine in Sicily. Maybe we build them in Sicily. Hey, we also became a great power. That's actually huge. Oh, that actually is massive, massive, guys. Because we're a great power, we get the bonuses of being a great power, which include more declared interest, more influence, 1 extra free company charter, loan interest minus 50%, and 25% migration attraction. So we're going to be doing very, very good. I also just realized we formed Italy in like 15 years with some very big mistakes that we've made along the way. But hey, I haven't played the game in a while, okay? I'm still getting back into it. And I have to say that I'm probably going to make a lot more Victoria 3 content, guys, because I'm having fun. I love EU5 also, but the truth is, this game is so much easier and it's just fun, bro. I'm just having fun. It's weird. I'm not, you know, going through heaps and hoops to just get a couple of things going. And I don't know. It's just a lightweight game, Vicky, but it's also a really fun experience. I love it. I've always been a massive fan of Vicky, and playing Italy just rekindled my love for the game, honestly. I think I'm probably going to do a Sweden campaign once this one is done, because I was thinking of doing a super tall Sweden campaign where we don't conquer anything outside of Sweden, just basically Scandinavia, and see how much pop we can get in there. That would be the goal. What do you guys think about a campaign like that? And we're starting now to queue up everything that's lacking in the country, get a little bit everywhere. We do want that extra throughput efficiency bonus though, so we're gonna have to have 1 central state for everything too. I think Lombardy is probably going to be my favorite state in this whole campaign though. Either Lombardy or Piedmont. Both of them have really good resources, obviously, but not only that, they have an insane population and they just have so much potential for growth. It is wild. And me making that much money means that I need to get more construction sectors. So let's actually just max out the construction sectors in our capital first. Speaking of capital, we have the option of moving our capital to Rome. It gives for 5 years some bonuses, but the truth is, guys, I hate saying this, but Piedmont is 10 times better than Rome. We got more population, triple or 4 times more GDP, and just overall keeping it in Piedmont is better for us. I might do it later just for the memes and for the role play, but the truth is keeping it in Piedmont is obviously way better. Similarly, Treaty of Turin, we're never going to do. We're not going to give Savoy. We already gave Provence to them, or our part of Provence. We gave them Nice. So we're going to have to take that back eventually. We're friends with the French for now, but emphasis on the for now part. The Great War has begun. It seems like, as I expected, Austria joined on the side of the Tuscans, so I'm going to give independence sway to Hungary. That way we turn the tables and we open up more fronts against the Austrians. And obviously, I'm also going to give return state to the Prussians, because they definitely would like to get a piece of Silesia. And we're also going to be recruiting a buttload of units. We have an insane amount of population now, and we have the ability to just raise a crazy amount of conscripts, as you would imagine. I'm going to say do 100 for the time being. We might do more later though. It is insane to see the Austrians still being cocky despite being outnumbered literally 2-1 and having no shot in the world of actually winning against us. All right, I'm adding a couple of extra things here. So if we win this war, and I'm pretty confident we will, we're gonna basically make Austria go back into the Stone Ages. We're even taking Croatia, Slavonia as our subject. We're being a little bit mean to the Austrians, but I think it's deserved, okay? Hundreds of years the Austrian Empire has put down the various Italian nations. Far too long has that been going on for, okay? Far too long. It is time the rightful Prussian and Italians take their side, and we see Hungary independent. We see Croatia, well, I don't want to say independent in the case of Croatia, because they're gonna be more like under new management, really. But I mean, it's technically better management if you ask me. And we got the war goal on Tuscany, so that is beautiful. We've conquered back Tuscany, and it is also an incorporated state, of course, because we had a claim on it from before. Now we've also divided the Austrians in half here. We have, in essence, won, pretty much. I mean, obviously we're winning, clearly, because we've basically occupied completely Austria, but it's just weird how the occupation went to them and us, and just it made no sense. But look at this, boys. New defined borders for Europe in just 15, 17, whatever years. Not only did we unify all of Italy, and I mean all of it, including the Austrian parts, but we also managed to get our first foothold in the Balkans with Croatia, Slavonia. All right, we got our taxation back down to medium, and it's time we spam a few government administration buildings now, since we do not actually have enough. Some states are not getting taxed properly, so we want to get all the taxes from all the states. If there's one thing we love in this game, it's taxing, okay? Just like IRL countries, we love taxing our people. And now, seeing as we are not only a great power, but we have unified Italy, we don't need to stress about other great powers at all, which means we're going to create our own power block. It is time, boys. There's a few options here, and the truth is the Cultural Commonwealth, which is the one added in the more recent DLC, is not a bad one. I'll be honest with you, it's a fun one. It's not the best one for an economic playthrough though. I definitely think Trade League is significantly better, but Cultural Commonwealth is for sure a very unique one. I do feel like the 10% assimilation for all block members is not that big though. I feel like this should be increased significantly. Right now it's not massive at all. Plus, freedom of movement is 10 times better than the shared canon. So if I was to ever go Cultural Commonwealth, I would of course go down the freedom of movement path, obviously. And in general, the only thing that you get as the block leader is imposing same citizenship on block members is meh. I'm gonna go for a Trade League because we're doing economic playthrough here. Otherwise, I would have gone for the cultural thing. I'm actually thinking of doing a cultural one when I do my Ottomans campaign, because I plan on redoing that since I haven't played Ottomans in a long time. Now, we do need members in our league, so that means we're gonna have to start asking people in a friendly way to join the league, of course, which means we're returning to South America, continuing what we began before we even formed the Italian nation, which is the conquest of Argentina. And by conquest, I mean friendly adding to the league. That's what this is really about, if you think about it. Just don't think too much. The gloves are apparently also off with the Americans, so we're gonna rival them, and we're gonna rival the Russians too. All right, we also have unlocked the technology to go for public health insurance, and we have quite a bit of support for it, so this is gonna be huge, as it will increase the standard of living, as well as lower pollution health effect reduction and lower mortality. So it means we're going to have more pops, which is exactly what we need, a lot more pops. We're going to also double down on that with our Trade League, and we're going to have to go for principles that allow more migration. Freedom of movement principles, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I also want to do one more thing here that is extremely important, and that is I need to start privatizing. I actually haven't privatized at all. So I'm going to privatize a lot of my buildings, but I'm going to do it slowly, because I know that means we're going to get get a lot of money. Right now we have 4 million principal. Once we start privatizing, as you can already see, we're not only paying this principal off, but we're going to start getting reserves. We don't want to get reserves. We want to, you know, use up all the money, not waste it. Commit to leave taxes on low or very low taxation for 4 years. I think that's a fine one. All right, so let's do our cheeky naval invasion in the southern parts of Marina. We're basically just adding nations peacefully to our spaghetti league. That's all that's happening here. We're just increasing the friendly group of people that speak my language, which is denarios. That's right. It's all about the money in this game, but we also have now a little bit of shortage of fabric, so we can do a bit of cotton plantations. And it's time, boys. It's time we just max out all of the freaking logging camps. Wood is always going to be profitable in this freaking game. And as you would imagine, we do have a shortage of it already. I've also started supporting the independence of the Balkan nations that are still a part of the Ottoman Empire. It's time that these guys also get their independence. Hey, look at this. It's so easy taking these lands. It's like taking schnitzels from a Schnitzeldorf. It's wild. Oh, Bulgaria wants to join our little independent power block of independent nations. I'm gonna name it that, actually. That's a better name for what we got going here. Welcome to the power block of independent nations, Marina. Hell yeah. We also got our first prestige good for the Italian metal work. Oh, look at that. We're already fourth when it comes down to GDP, right behind the Great British. Wow. We already overtook the Russians, which is pretty impressive. We've already overtook the French, for that matter, too. Holy schnitzel. And it seems like we can already reduce the autonomy of Argentina, which is really good because it means we now border Chile, so we can just straight up attack them also. They've colonized a lot more Patagonia than the Argentinians have, so what I've done is I've made it so that they transfer the lands of Argentina that they've already colonized in Patagonia, and I've revoked their claim. So the only nation after this war that has the ability to colonize Patagonia is Argentina and nobody else. Hopefully Argentina does it, though. I don't know why I've seen in recent times that the Chileans love to colonize Patagonia, but the Argentinians don't for some freaking reason. It's just weird. And I've also just realized that the British hate me now, so they've made me a rival, which means I'm gonna rival them back. F you, Britain! I do enjoy finding these little nations that I can attack that allow me to get more interest afterwards. So maybe next one I'm gonna do is gonna be Majordine. 7 infamy, though. I also want to attack some that are very low infamy. Also, can someone explain to me what the F is happening here? I actually just realized that Oman is a subject of Russia. What? What? It started, guys. The division of the world has begun. This is no bueno. We did fail our legislation, but we also have a bigger issue. We're getting reserves, so that means we have to make more construction sectors now. We're gonna have to double down on this now. Let's alt-click a few of these bad boys. I'm gonna say do 9 of them in Lombardia, which is another one of the bigger states with 68,000 people unemployed, so that's a big amount of people we need to employ. And seeing as the Russians are in Oman, it's time I get the rest of Yemen before I push for anything else in Africa, just so I at least make sure I've got all of Yemen for myself. Yemen is in fact a pretty big deal since it has a lot of oil reserves, much like Oman does, which unfortunately now belongs to the Russians. And also because of the recent patch changes, we have a lot more South African nations, which makes it a lot easier to expand into South Africa. Look at this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nations in South Africa, alongside more nations on the coastline of East Africa, which again means it's a lot easier for us to grab a hold of colonial possessions. In fact, as any nations, it's a lot easier now compared to previous patches, which is good because it gives everybody a more equal shot at going colonial pretty much. Also trying to get enough bureaucracy so I can survey the Suez Isthmus, just so we can create the Suez Canal. If we get that before the British, that is a massive deal. Suez is one of the biggest sources of income, especially in this patch. We're gonna need, regardless, more government administration too, because we need to increase the levels of our institutions. So we need level 3 law enforcement, level 3 health insurance and home affairs. Hey, Paraguay back down. That's huge. We don't need to fight them then. And we've basically secured now the southern tip of South America, which is very good. All those resources are in essence ours now. Another big deal is that we managed to pass freedom of conscience. So that means that we can actually go for public schools next. We weren't able to do that before because we had the state religion, which prevents public schools. Public schools is really good because it means we get 37% more assimilation at level 3, and we can increase that, of course, more once we unlock more levels of education too. This actually is very important to me, so I'm gonna make some concessions to the landowners to get a bit more support for it. Yay, public schools, let's go, baby. Oh, this is so good. I actually am really enjoying this campaign, guys. I feel like I got super good RNG in this campaign overall, and it's just going smooth. I'm having a lot of fun with it as a consequence. Once we grab the rest of Bahrain here too, we're gonna be able to invade Persia whenever we're ready for it, or if we don't invade them, we can just diplomatically add them to our power block, since they do seem to be extremely happy with us. If I do invade them, I'll probably wait until they finish conquering the rest of the Afghanistanian areas, so we don't need to worry about that stuff then. Also, I want to start getting my foothold into Central and West Africa, because it does seem like both Britain and France are heavily centralizing these lands. I want to grab some of this before they all disappear or become French or British, better yet. If we conquer the homie, does that mean that we are a homie? Now, with the homie under our control, we now have access to Borgu, and I will in fact hold my army in the homie just so we can continue a little bit of expansion here. I'm gonna go for Borgu so I access Sokoto afterwards. Want to have a border with them so I can make him a protectorate. Only 25 infamy is basically nothing, considering that Sokoto's got 7 million population and some of the craziest resources. I mean, look, just the coal and the iron and everything is just wild how much resources Sokoto has. Oh, and we also can continue to lower the independence of nations. Perfect. So Marina is now a puppet too. Chile does not seem to be very happy. That's because our army's not big enough for them. Okay, interesting. I mean, I didn't think about it like that, but I guess we can technically increase the army size. I guess it's probably time we do that, isn't it? Let's say get another 15 skirmishers, and let's get 14 more artillery. That should be a decent amount of soldiers for now. We're also privatizing at a crazy rate, so I'm going to lower taxes and I'm going to increase the amount of construction sectors. Again, I'm going to go another 10 construction sectors in Lombardia. Oh my god, whilst I'm busy in Africa, it seems like World War I just began, so I'm basically not going to really do anything. I'm just going to be defending pretty much. That's it. I feel so awkward rooting for the enemy, but go Germany! I'm the worst. You know what? I'm gonna do something that I think everyone agrees I should do. I'm gonna ally Germany, and I'm gonna ally Japan too, because they seem to have also reformed. Why don't we have a special triple alliance, Japan, Italy, Germany? We can call it the, I don't know, the Axis or something, because, you know, it's like a, yeah, you know, I'm just saying, it's a game, it's a video game, don't worry about it. And it does seem like Austria just got annexed. Oh no, this is not what I wanted, bro. I didn't want Super Germany in my north. Shit! This is bad. This is really bad. This is really, really bad. And I'm pretty sure they got South Tyrol as one of their goals, so they might actually get South Tyrol from me. This is no good at all. Okay, we actually have to fight, boys. We actually have to fight. Let's get some conscripts in here. I'm curious what their GDP is now. So they're basically second, well, third after me. I'm second, with the Qing being first. Oh, look at that jump up. Just look at how much they jumped up from annexing all of those German nations. That is wild. This is the craziest Germany I've seen in so long. It's definitely a challenging run, that's for sure. I'm gonna try and go for Switzerland before the Germans do in that case. I didn't think about it like this, but now I just realized this is a problem. This is a very, very, very big problem. We're not doing good, boys. We're not doing good. 71 million. We're overshadowed by India, Qing, and Germany's right behind us. So we gotta step up our game if we want to still remain the top dog here. We've also changed our production methods to the dynamite production method and to steam donkeys, which will increase significantly our output, but not yet, because we don't actually have enough dynamite produced in our country. So we're gonna have to spam a lot of dynamite as consequence. Of course, spamming it in Sicily is the best option because we already have sulfur in Sicily, which is used in dynamite production. So let's say 15 explosives factories should be fine. I guess we're gonna need some more chemical fertilizer plants too, so let's get 5 of them too afterwards. Look at that. We actually lost 7 million GDP by switching those production methods without having dynamite available. Oh, the Egyptians actually love us. So let's attempt now to acquire land in the Sinai. They gave it to us. They gave it to us. Let's go. We can build a Suez Canal. That's huge. Also, I believe the Ottomans lost the Tanzimat battle because they've lost control of Tripoli and Tunis, which of course is going to be my next expansion target because it's right next to me. Why wouldn't it be? Plus, Tunis actually is a good state also. It has a buttload of resources, including sulfur and lead, two of the more rare resources if you think about it. There's very few locations that actually have a decent amount of that. I also feel like maybe I need to get some more ships. 15 ships is kind of not much for 1868. But what we really need though is better technology. So I need to get the ironclad ships. Speaking of technology, we got 117, but we just upgraded our power block principle to level 3 for advanced research. So we can get up to 141 innovation now, which means we can get more universities spammed. I'm going to do actually something a little bit different. I'm going to spam universities in Lazio just so I can start making Lazio a little bit more important. I would definitely like to, just from the roleplay perspective, if nothing else, change the capital here later on. So I am starting to just overall build up a little bit of everything in Lazio itself. Hey, we're a technocracy, finally, man. Okay, now I'm noticing that nothing has actually happened, but I'm still a technocracy, so that's pretty cool. We want to switch away next from mercantilism to free trade, so fingers crossed this works, because that's going to massively boost up our economy once we get more trade going. And we can get another company now. We have the Anglo-Sicilian Sulfur Company, which is a unique one in Sicily, and it produces the Sicilian Sulfur prestige good. Seeing as it is unique stuff, I'm gonna obviously go for that company next. Here's a little thing that I really enjoy about being a technocracy. It changes the names for the phases of legislation. So we're going formulation, review, implementation. It's like such a very specific academic term, let's say. I really like this. It's a nice little touch when they do this, but I really enjoy it a lot. Oh, the French Republic got most of Algeria. That is not good. That is really not good. I would have liked to grab some of those parts, but I guess it's a bit late now. At the very least, we're getting Tunis and Tripoli, which is good because they do have some interesting resources later on. And I'm going to be bordering Egypt, another area that I have a bit of an interest in. And look at Argentina colonizing Patagonia. Love to see it. It's also time that we release all of the directly conquered lands around the Middle East. And I'm doing this now, and I didn't just subjugate them before, because when you release a nation, that nation actually gets your particular laws. So Kathiri, instead of being extremely backwards, they get our laws, which means they got interventionism, technocracy, and so on. So they're a lot more aligned with us. As you probably noticed, though, we do have some laws that we also need to massively change. It's very important we go from tenant farmers to commercialized agriculture. So I'm going to do that right after we finish with free trade. The time has also arrived for us to switch over to steel frame production methods. So we're going to need to spam a few glassworks and a few steel industries before we do that. And we're going to slowly do it from each individual province. So say we start with Piedmont first, switch over the construction sectors here to steel frame buildings, which will massively increase the demand of glass, steel, and so on. And once we meet those demands, we start switching the next one and the next one and so on. Otherwise, there is a very significant chance of us completely collapsing our economy. Actually, I'm going to do glassworks in Lombardy. I just realized Lombardy is probably a lot better than Apulia. I was doing Apulia because it has a lot of population there. But then again, Lombardy's got lead mines, and it also has a lot of population. So I'm just going to cancel the ones in Apulia and I'll do something else there, which also means switching over Apulia or Piedmont first is probably better. Same thing here. Piedmont has a lot of lead mines, but Piedmont doesn't have any more population. That's why I decided to do Lombardy instead. Our power block is also now third power block in the world, which means we have access to the fourth principle. So I'm going to be making use of that just in case we lose third spot at any point. The extra -10 mortality from food standardization is absolutely massive. It will help with our population growth insanely, but at the same time, freedom of movement is going to help even more because of the mass migration attraction. So I'm going to go for the freedom of movement, and I'm probably going to change my construction one to the food standardization afterwards. Well, boys, it's official. We've cracked 100 million GDP, and not only that, but we managed to get both Sokoto and Benin as subjects. So if we secure Oyo and Messina, we should have most of the valuable important areas here. That also means that all of the other ones inwards, Wadai, Darfur, Bornu, are not conquerable by the British until they bordered that. So it's going to take a while, which means we have all the time in the world to make these our subjects as consequence. Looking at our population, we're up to 35.8 million population and growing. That is really not bad. We got a good population growth of 1.71% annually too. And you got to remember, I released every single one of my colonial possessions, which means this is all in the Italian peninsula itself, nowhere else. I'm also going to try my best to get the state of Corsica back from the French. So I'm going to allow them to build in my country. I'm going to honestly just give them anything they want, man. I'm desperate. I would like to grab Corsica. I'm going to give them an obligation too. So that's 45% chance. I'm going to do a little bit better just so it goes above 45%. Let's say we prohibit trade with the world. Groceries is pretty good because I actually don't want to trade with the rest of the world anyway. 87% chance. Please say yes. I would like Corsica back. Fuck you, France. Oh my god, 87%, and you say, you little shits. I'm gonna attempt that again later, not to fear. Oh, the Ottomans just lost to the Greeks, and they lost big time. Holy mother of God. I really hope you guys enjoyed the Italian campaign, and I'm not planning to do a second part, but if there is enough support for it, I will consider it. Although I would like to make something a little bit different, so if we do a second part, I will attempt to restore the Roman Empire, which is not likely to succeed, but will still attempt to at least. Let's say if we get 4,000 likes on this video, I will be very tempted to do so. In any case, guys, love you all. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.